On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 4th down. Here's Marquette King now to kick it for Oakland. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Texans take possession. Miller, the lone setback. To throw is Osweiler. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 76 yards. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And on your screen, the defensive starters for the Houston Texans. One thing's for sure. Throughout the season, but really in the playoffs, Clowney and Merciless, boy, did they come on. You get J.J. Watt back next year, a good defense becomes even better.
You're exactly right about that. This was a defense that did not get the credit it deserved all year long. Finished the season #1 in total defense in the NFL. And as you mentioned, that's without J.J. Watt. Just think, when they get him back and put everyone else to use again, look out. The Houston Texans will be stout again on the defensive side of the ball.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. There he goes left side. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Here's Tywan Jones on the return. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Murray had the 1,000-yard season in 2015, followed that up with 788 last year. Now, also in the mix in Oakland, you had Washington, you had Richard. How do you see this backfield playing out going forward?
I think you'll see a similar combination going forward. I think that's one of the reasons that he dropped from a 1,000-yard runner to 788, because they had other options. They're able to bring in Washington, Richard. They can use different plays for those guys, a lot of versatility, and really upgrade their offense with an infusion of speed. But Latavius Murray, I think he'll still continue to be the lead guy out of that trio.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Flushed out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And speaking of Lamar Miller, up over 1,000 yards this season for the Houston Texans, 5 touchdowns as well. And the second time in his 5-year career, he topped the 1,000 mark.
And he did it missing 2 games due to injury, so just think of what the numbers could have been. But looking forward, he is such a versatile player. I would not be surprised if Bill O'Brien adds a little more to his plate in 2007.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Smith. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
12 yards there as they move the chains. Fresh set of downs here.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to spring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Second and just 1. Now Carr going to give to Olawale. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Murray the lone setback. And they'll give it to him here. And past the 30 down to about the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
That was second down run for Murray. And he'll cut it out to and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray, 27 yards. And the Raiders are back within a score. And that one makes it 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On second down, here's Miller. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Now Osweiler on first down. Escaping the pressure right. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins.
Brandon, if I told you in preseason that DeAndre Hopkins would have less than 1,000 receiving yards, would you have looked at me funny?
I would have. He's coming off a 1,500-yard season, and he's gotten better each and every year through the first 3.
And they have weapons around him now. Will Fuller can stretch the field. Braxton Miller, they get him back healthy. He can fly as well. They got Lamar Miller as a running back in free agency. They've got people who can stretch things open and get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins in open field, but he had a connection that wasn't very good with his quarterbacks this season.
And by the way, Charles, touchdown production dropped big time too. 11 last season, 4 this year. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Osweiler. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
This is the running back, Blue. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On first down, Irvin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
Here's a give to Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. C.J. Fedorowicz from 6 yards away. And the Texans will add on to their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On second down, here's Carr. Dancing to his left. And he's got some space here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Carr now on first down. This one caught left side by Cooper. Give them 11 on the gain there, and it'll give the Raiders a first down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
From midfield, here's Carr. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And now it's second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Carr again here on second and 10. Flush to his right. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time. And now it's third down.
I know we're doing this game live, but let's step into the film room for just a second, because when they review this play, oh, the negatives are going to be incredible on this one. Rolling out to his right. Yeah, he's right-handed, so that's a natural spot for him. But he throws back across his body back into traffic.
Big no-no.
Oh, that's a monster no-no. The only good thing that happened, it fell incomplete. Very fortunate.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man coverage in many cases. And on this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you just saw there if you like zone defense.
Carr to throw for it on fourth down. Looking deep for Crabtree. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And this defense will take over right at midfield. And now out comes Houston. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so. One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Osweiler and finding Fedorowicz. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. Hopkins, the man in motion right. They're going on fourth down. It's Osweiler. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice. And the Raider D, they get the football back. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The final shot here before half for Carr. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with a...